Hello, hello. As you guys start to come in, please comment so that I know you are present and can mark you as such. You still have about a minute of break, so I'm not super worried about comments quite yet. Oh, Arda, I have you as being present. Hey guys, we got 3 people in here now. As you come in, please comment so I can get you for being present. I don't want to waste a whole lot of class time. Give you about another 30 seconds or so before I start marking people late. Hello, Sudanaz. Hello, Malike. Seta. Hello, AJ. Lara. Hello, Good Kim. Yep, Seta, I got you. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Denise. Okay, so parts, let me pop out my chat here. Hold on a sec. Okay, so parts of, hello, AJ. So, optic. What does optic stand for? Somebody tell me. Hello, Boron. Ata, hello, Sevde. What does optic stand for? Okay, good. Hello, Tuzun. Okay, so we have O, good. Yep. P is parts of the picture. Hello, Emir. Good. T is title and author. I is interrelationships. C, conclusion. Good. OPTIC. Okay. Hello, Kerem. Hello, Boran. Okay, so right now present I have Arda Utash, Sudanaz. Hello, Duru. Arda Koja Sakal, Malike, Sera, AJ, Dinjar, Lara, Goodkim, Denise, AJ. Yep. Aginli, Boran, Ata, Sevde, Tuzun, Emir, Kerem. Boran, I seem to have you twice. Zainab. Gökçe, Siden. Okay. So moving on, please look at the second image in the document that I posted. It has two people standing on porches. Okay, so for this one, based on feedback from last class, I'm going to go ahead and give you a concrete example for each of the steps. Sure. Give me 1 second. Okay, I put the image up. Okay. It was taken this year. So if you look in the document I posted, it gives you the title. So, overview. Correct, there was not. This was taken on March 2020, yes. March 19th, 2020. Good. Overview, two people stand on balconies talking to each other. Boom. That is overview. Give me 1 second, I got an email from a student. On the right, I would say that's a woman. That person is wearing a dress. Okay, so O. Very simply be two people standing on separate balconies talking to. Boom, that's all we know, right? Okay, so P, parts of the image. This is going to be a lot longer, okay? So what do we see for parts of the image? Okay, the houses, they're dilapidated. They don't look too dilapidated. Hello, Ilke. They are alone. It's okay. Two people on 7 balconies. Okay. Right, but I mean, so I know I got an email from Ismet Mert, but Ismet can also get into the Google or the live stream on his cell phone. So, hello Mehmet, welcome to class. Okay, yeah, so I live in Tarsus, right? And even in my apartment building, which is, I mean, newish, they have cables coming down from the roofs. So, hello, Ismet Mert. Okay. I see you, sir. Okay, so for those of you just joining, we are looking at the second image in the document that I posted. We already said the overview was two people standing on their balconies talking, right? Sorry, I got a little bit distracted with doing attendance and everything else. So we have, I didn't make my comment based on the wires. Okay, so, okay. Yes, Emir. I'm sorry, I'm going back through comments now. and responding. The man's balcony is more full of flowers. The woman's is not. Good, good. They are in their pajamas. I think the guy on the left is in. I don't know what you call them, but they're men wear them in Kuwait and in the Middle East. They're the full body gowns. I don't know what you call them though. When my dad went to Kuwait when I was young, he got me one. That's how I know about it. Not rags, no. Okay, so we know that he. Are the cables in any sense important to the image? No. I don't think so. I mean, perhaps you could tie in the cables coming down the wall somehow, but they're not super important. Okay. All right. So we have a woman standing on her balcony in a dress, arms crossed. Not much plant life visible. The man. There is a juxtaposition here. We'll discuss it in just a minute. We're not quite there yet. Okay. Thank you, Tuzun. So the man on the other balcony also has his arms crossed. Lots of plant life. Okay, so that's the beginning of the parts. So Sudenaz, do you know that there's a quarantine based only on what's in the photo? Correct. There are not many elements in this image. That is correct. You would have to use T. You would have to use title and author in order to figure out that they're in quarantine, right? You might be able to, but you would need to look at the title in order to figure out they're in quarantine, right? Because you would need a date and a situation. Okay. So parts of the image are not as it's 2020. So parts of the image here are not as complicated as the first one. But I mean, it's still important to note. I had a student draw a really phenomenally interesting comment yesterday from this image. Okay, so we have overview, we have part. What's the next part? We have O, P. Correct. If you just look at the image, you cannot say. That is the point of parts of the image. It's specifically what's in the image, but it's detailed. Okay, T, good. So title and author. Mariscal is the author. It's published by Shutterstock. So we know, again, it's probably a professional photo. We did partially do T. Neighbors chat from their balconies during another day of isolation in Madrid. So again, I ask you the same question I asked last time. Does the title and author give you any information about the picture? Does it help you to understand it? Yes, it does, right? It helps you understand where it is. It helps you understand when it is. It helps you understand the context, which is important. It tells you that it's isolation, right? So we know that March 19th was what, 6 days ago? Because of the miasma? Maybe there was uh, a, maybe there was an unpleasant smell. Don't know, but let's leave this for the interrelationship. Okay, this so we're moving into the analysis part a little bit ahead of ourselves. Yeah. So we've done O, we've done P, we've done T. Right. We know that the title and author reveals to us that they're in isolation. They're in Madrid. They're in Spain. So we know generally there's a big problem there. Right. We know based on the date. Yeah. Right. Exactly. We know Zeynep. Right. Exactly. We know based on the date when it's happening, why it's happening. Right. Now, one thing we didn't talk about with parts. Look at the angle of the shot. What's the angle of the shot? It's shot from probably outside, correct, a bystander, but it's looking up, right? So we know that wherever this shot is taken from, it's a little bit below the balcony. So angle like this is, so right now I'm looking at you at a direct angle. Right now, the angle that I'm looking at you from is going up, right? Now, it's down. Does that make sense? So it could be, and this is, we're moving into I a little bit. It could be that this person is standing on the street taking a picture of two people on their balcony. Could be. We don't know, right? Okay, so let's move into the interrelationships. This is where we get to the analysis, right? So I gave you an answer for O. I gave you an answer for P. I'm going to, they could be. Some buildings have balconies on the second floor. Could be. I don't know. It could be. But we know that whoever is taking the photo is looking up, right? So we've done T. Okay, let's do I. Okay, so I. What are some of the things we could say from I? What are some symbols we can draw? What are some inferences we can draw from this? From just looking at the overview and the parts of the image, not looking at the author, not looking at the title. What are some inferences we can draw? Okay, good. So we can infer that that they are trying to put distance between themselves, right? Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, so Ata, without the title, we don't know they're in quarantine, right? So we can't say that in the interrelationship part, okay? Okay, Emir, Ilke, same thing. Gökçe, yes. Okay, what can you notice about the, you could say they're bored. You could say, look at the body posture. What can you say, what inference or assumption can you make from their body postures? So you could say two people are trying to put distance between themselves. They're probably friends, given their postures. They seem relaxed. indicating that they know each other. So this is part of the answer for I. This would be one part of your answer, right? There aren't a whole lot, again, in this image, there aren't a whole lot of different parts of the image, right? In the interest of time, because we have about 20 minutes left, and I do want you guys to start working on your own, let's move on to conclusion. Now, remember, in conclusion, you look at all of the different parts. You look at title, you look at author, you look at overview, you look at parts, you look at all the things, right? So what is a conclusion that we could give based on all of the things? So that would again be Sevde. That would be parts of the image. Emir, that would be parts of the image. The title. Neighbors chat from their balconies during another day of isolation in Madrid on March 19th. Let me give you an example of a conclusion. For instance, when in isolation, it's extremely boring and people need to be able to talk to share experiences. It's hard, but people manage to communicate. Yes, Ata, that's you're going in the right direction here, okay? What other conclusions could we draw from all the different parts of this image? So, you could say that. However, Boron, with your comment, again, there's a little bit too much summary and not enough analysis. Okay, Tuzun, yes, getting closer. Okay, Ata, getting closer. So, Surenaz, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to do an optic analysis of your own. All of these chats are going to be recorded on the YouTube live stream. So you will be able to go back and reference our entire conversation, okay? So it might help you to write it down, but this will be available to you about 15 minutes after I end the live stream, okay? So here, what you could say is, so Sidin, you don't necessarily need to take a picture again because all of this chat will be recorded, okay? All right, so Emir, you could mention age. You could say something along the lines of the isolation affects not only the young but also the old. Similarly, even though I don't know, you could say any number of things. Let's say that it doesn't matter how old you are, isolation still affects you, or something like that, right? That makes sense? So again, in the conclusion and in the interrelationship, there needs to not be a whole lot of summary, but more analysis, more substantive analysis. Okay? So we have just under 20 minutes here, 15 minutes or so. What I want to do, let me explain the assignment real quick. So for this assignment, you will have to pick one image to do an optic analysis on, okay? So in this document that I posted, there are 9 images total. You may pick any of these, so any of the 7 that are remaining, or you may pick your own image from the internet. If you do want to pick your own image from the internet, I would suggest looking at like news websites or powerful photos from the week or powerful photos from the month, because those will tend to be more professional and you can get more in the image to analyze. In the 7 images I gave you, 5 of them relate to coronavirus. The last 2 relate to wildfires and a demonstration in Chile. Old woman and man speaking with each other in Madrid on March 19th to spend time with it. So, boron. What I would say would be a good conclusion is that is a lot of summary. Let me edit that a bit. So you could say people in isolation, even though they are distant, and still So you could say people in isolation, even though they are distant, can still communicate regardless of age. That would be a good conclusion sentence. You can. So I have a drop for this on Google Classroom. You can do it in a number of ways. You could create a Google Doc. You could have some fun with it and do like a voice recording or something, or a small video. I do need to, if you're doing an image other than the ones I gave you, I do need a copy of the image. Okay? This is due Friday. Before I let you go and do individual work, are there any questions you have for me? What do you mean you don't get the title? You mean the title part of Optic? So in the title portion of the Optic analysis, and this is due Friday. In the title portion of the Optic analysis, what you're doing, you're looking at the author and the title. You are asking questions like, does this title reveal information about the image? Does this title tell me anything about the image? Does it make it more clear? Does it make it less clear? Does it explain anything about the image? So you are using the title to analyze the image. Does that make sense? Yeah. So also, guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be the opposition. Part of it can be a juxtaposition, but the interrelationship is inferences you can draw, assumptions you can make about only the different parts of the image itself, okay? If you guys look in the GP 3.5 packet on page 4 and page 5, there is an explanation of Optic. You're just doing one image, Kerem. On page 5, there's a graphic image that gives a little bit more information about Optic analysis, okay? Let's go ahead and migrate to Google Chat. That's all for the live stream today. If you have questions, I will be on there. I had fun today. Good class, guys. I will see you next week. This is all I see for you this week. I'll see you next week. Bye. And remember, if you didn't understand stuff, you are more than welcome to rewatch the live stream with all the comments, okay? All right, guys. Bye. See you later.